Dear students, welcome to the lecture session on hydroelectric power plants. As our discussion is going on the hydroelectric power plants, last class I have discussed this point, merits and demerits of hydroelectric power plants. Today I am going to discuss the site selection, selection of site where the hydroelectric power plant is situated. Which are the conditions and which are the factors governing. Okay. First one is availability of water. As we know, the primary requirement of hydroelectric power station is the availability of huge quantity of water. Okay. Such plants, such plants, just a moment. Okay. Such plants should be built in a place where, example, river, canal, where adequate water is available at a good head. Okay. Second one is storage of water. So, for the continuous generation throughout the year, the water should be stored, okay, in a reservoir where it will be stored. The term is called reservoir. Okay. Third point is cost and type of land. The land for the construction of the plant should be available at a reasonable price. Okay. Next one is transportation facility. The site selected for a hydroelectric plant should be accessible by rail and road, so the necessary equipment and machinery could be easily transported, because uh, the machineries and these things are heavy equipments, so that it will be transported. So what it is required, it should be accessible by rail and road. Okay. Because the transformer, machines, alternators, okay, all things need to be transport. So the transportation facility should be good. So it is clear from the above mentioned factors that ideal choice of site for such a plant is near a river in hilly areas where dam can be conveniently built and large reservoirs can be obtained. Okay. Next bit is the general arrangement of hydel plant. Okay, hydroelectrical plant. Now here this is a reservoir. We will take pen. Reservoir, dam is constructed. Okay, this is pressure channel, wall house. This water, it will be taken down through this called penstock. Okay, this is powerhouse, river or tail rise we are can mention, right? So before explaining the working of hydropower plant, let's I want to play here one animated video. Working principle of hydroelectric power plant. In this power plant, production of electricity depends upon water level from ground, volume of water, efficiency of turbine. Here is the water reservoir. Dam is constructed across the river. Stored water, which potential energy is used to convert electrical energy. The water which it will flowing through this is called penstock, and it will be comes through inlet wall and hits to the turbine blade. Turbine, it will be generates mechanical power. Here the penstocks may be concrete or steel. Surge tank, it is built little above. Trash rack prevents the debates which it will be coming from reservoir, that it will be taken out. When water hits to the turbine blades, mechanical power is generated. That shaft is coupled to the alternator generator, which generates the AC power, and it will be stepped up through the step up transformer, and it is transmitted through the transmission lines. Draft tube, after hitting to turbines, the water it will becomes, that it will be taken out. The demand of electricity varies by day and night, so the need to store the energy so that it can be used at the time of high electricity demand. Pump storage process, next I will show you. Pump storage process, the water which it will be back stored to the reservoir. Advantages and disadvantages, we have once again already I have discussed. Once again we will go through here. The most important advantage is that it keeps the environment clean. Hydro energy can be stored in high level reservoirs and used whenever necessary. Electricity is produced at a constant rate. The life of dams and power plants lasts for many decades. The water can be used for supplying drinking water, irrigation purpose, water sports, industries, power plants. So many purpose we can use. Advantages is sluice gate. So here the explanation is related to the surge tank. We'll explain what it will be happens next. Okay, anyhow, next disadvantages are there. However, the disadvantage is that constructing, just I will go back. Constructing hydroelectric power plants and dams is very expensive. It requires large area. Planning a hydroelectric plants and reservoir may lead to the dispersion of this lives of people as they have to relocate to another area. The peoples we need to relocate nearby the river. Hydro, okay, this is just okay. I hope it is clear that how the hydropower plant works. Here, this is the general arrangement of hydel plant. This is reservoir where the water is stored. Okay, and this is the penstock through wall house. It will be taken to the powerhouse. Okay, so the elements the is required hydroelectric power plants are hydraulic structures, water turbines, and electrical equipments. Hydraulic structure such as dam. Yes, dam is the barrier which stores water and creates water head. Dams are built of concrete or stone masonry, earth or rock fill. This type and arrangement depends upon the topography of the site. Okay. Spillways. There are times when the river flow exceeds. Means what it will be happens the heavy rainfall. Okay, here I will take pen. Due to the during heavy rainfall in the catchment area, what it will be happens? So water it will be stored more, so that it surplus water that can be discharged. Okay, in order to discharge the surplus water from the storage reservoir into the river and the downstream. side of the dam. Spillways are used. Okay, what is the meaning of spillways? Is nothing but the during the heavy rainfall, water is uh, stored in a reservoir will be more, exceeds the storage capacity. The reservoir has its own capacity to store the water. I repeat here, reservoir is the has its own capacity to store the water. If due to the heavy rain, what it will be happens, the heavy rainflow exceeds the storage capacity. Hence, what we have to do here, we have to take this surplus water to the downstream or river. Okay, spillways are constructed of concrete piers or the top of the dam. Okay, so this is called spillways. Headworks already I have shown. Okay, the headworks consist of diversion structures at the head of any intake. They generally include booms of racks for diverting the floating debris. Okay, so already in animated video I have shown that it will be taken out. Penstock. Okay, so penstocks are open or closed conduit which carry water to the turbine. They are generally made of reinforced concrete or steel. Concrete penstocks are suitable for low head, less than 30 meter, as greater pressure causes rapid deteriorations of concrete. Hence, the head is limited to the less than 30 meter. The steel penstocks can be designed for any head. The thickness of the penstocks increases with the head of working pressure. Okay, thickness of the penstock increases with the head of working head or working pressure. Okay. So in figure it is shown the surge tank. I will explain here what is surge tank. Okay. Surge tank is nothing but, I will show you where it is there. Okay. So this is a surge tank. Okay, surge tank. It is just built above the wall house here. Okay, I will explain what is the function of a surge tank. Surge tank is open conduit leading water to the turbine, require no protection. However, when closed conduits are used, protection becomes necessary to limit the abnormal pressure in the conduit. So in this statement, if our penstock, if our penstock is open conduit, then no need of surge tank. Okay, if when the closed conduits are used, protection becomes necessary. Okay, this sentence I will clear you. Okay, when closed conduits are used, protection becomes necessary to limit the abnormal pressure in the conduit. Okay. For this reason, closed conduits are always provided with a surge tank. Okay. A surge tank is a small reservoir or tank open at the top in which water level rises or falls to reduce the pressure swings in the conduit. A surge tank is a small reservoir or tank. It's open from the top, which water level rises or falls to reduce the pressure swings in the conduit. Let us, I will clear here in next slide. Okay, you can see here water enters here from the headworks. Okay, and it will be comes to the through the penstock. Here to penstock it will be goes to the turbine. Okay, this is the surge tank. This is a surge tank. Okay, what is the function of this surge tank? What is, how it will be protected bursting of this penstock? Now I am going to explain. Okay, what is the function of surge tank? I will explain now. See, when I will take pen. When the turbine is running at a steady load, okay, a surge tank is located near the beginning of the conduit. Okay, when the turbine is running at a steady load, there are no surges in the flow of water through the conduit. Its meaning is when the water flow from the, will go and back, the water flow from the headwork to this turbine, if the water flow is steady, means there is no variation, steady, the turbine, it will be rotates and power is generated. Okay, running at steady load, there are no surges in the flow of water through the conduit. That is, quantity of water flowing in the conduit is just sufficient to meet the turbine requirements. Okay, now if, however, when the load on the turbine decreases, what it will happens, you can see now. If there is a water flow inside the penstock in steady state, there is no surge in the penstock. Conclusion. Okay. Next, what it will be happens, however, when the load on the turbine decreases, what it will be happens when the load on the turbine decreases, the governor closes the gates of turbine, reducing water supply to the turbine. It means what? If the load is decreases, we want to stop the water which it will be hitting to turbine blade. We want to control the water. In other words, I can say we can control or we can regulate the water flow. So what it will be happens, reducing the water supply to the turbine. Okay. The excess water at the lower end of the conduit. See, this is a very important point. I repeat here. The excess water at the lower end of the conduit rushes back to the surge tank. What it will be happens, as soon as you are closing the gates, the water which it will be there, it will be rushing back to the surge tank and increases its level. Thus, the conduit is prevented. It's nothing but what? Penstock is prevented from bursting. Otherwise, what it will be happens, it will be burst if you are the water pressure you are not controlled, because as suddenly you are closing the gates, you are suddenly closing the gates. So what it will be happens, excess water lower end of the conduit rushes back to the surge tank. If surge tank is not there, what it will be happens, it will be burst. On the other hand, when the load on the turbine increases, additional water is drawn. Okay, when the decreasing, we won't want water, we want to close the gate. If when another hand, when the load on the turbine increases, additional water is drawn from the surge tank to meet the increased load requirement. It means what? The surge tank prevents bursting of penstock when the load is decreased. In other hand, when the addition load will be increased, the reservoir surge tank, it will be gives water, means it will be supplying the water. Okay, additional water is drawn from the surge tank. Apart from the reservoir, a reservoir is there, reservoir it will be continuously, it will be supplying the water. Apart from this, additional water, the word is used, additional water is drawn. It means what? Another water is from where? From reservoir we are getting, and one additional water from reservoir we are getting. Okay, so additional water is drawn from the surge tank to meet the increased load requirement. Here a surge tank overcomes the abnormal pressure in the conduit when load on the turbine falls and acts as any reservoir during increase of load on the turbine. I hope it is clear here, right? The surge tank function is what? It prevents or overcomes the abnormal pressure in the conduit when load on the turbine falls and acts as in a reservoir during increase of load on the turbine. Okay. So next discussion is related to the turbines. Okay, water turbines, impulse turbines, and reaction turbines. Little I will overview how many slides. Okay, and two slides are there. Okay, I hope it is clear. What is the meaning? What is the function of surge tank? Okay, I will show here figure once again. You can see here what it will be happens when we are closing. Assume you are closing this gates. What it will be happens? Water will be goes back. Am I right? Because the water will be falling from here to the this one. Okay, so what it will be happens when you are closing this gate, water will be interest to the back. Okay, so if this one is not there, the pressure it will be developed. This is open from the top. So what it will be happens when the load is decreased, gates are closed, the water it will be flows to this to such tank. Okay, when the load is increased, that time what it will be happens, gates are opened, water is required more, right? One, it will be coming from the reservoir. Okay, from the reservoir it is coming, additional water from surge tank also it is drawn. Okay, fine. So in this next is water turbines. Water turbines are used to convert the energy of falling water into mechanical energy. The principal types of water turbines are impulse turbine, reaction turbines. Okay, in your syllabus, another one is there, propeller, that I will discuss later. Okay, just here I will give what is the basic concept of this impulse turbines and reaction turbines, how it will be works. Okay, impulse turbines. Impulse turbines are used for high heads. Okay, head means you are getting the water which it will be comes from the top to the down. Okay, this level what it will be comes. This is head. Okay, the height from this level to the from water it will be taken off to this turbine. Okay, these impulse turbines are used for high head. In an impulse turbine, the entire pressure of water is converted into kinetic energy. Okay, so it will becomes operating head, it is shown here. Okay, operating head is shown. Water it will be hits to the lead of turbines. Okay, I repeat here the sentence. In a impulse turbine, the entire pressure of water is converted into kinetic energy in a nozzle, and the velocity of the jet drives the wheel. The example of this type of turbine is Pelton wheel. Pelton wheel Pelton wheel is a turbine falls under impulse turbine. Okay, impulse turbine. Okay, it consists of wheel fitted with uh, elliptical buckets along its periphery. Here, the force of water jet striking the buckets on the wheel, so it will be strike here. It will be strike here on the wheel, drives the turbines. It drives the turbines. Okay, so some other points just have to go through how it will be controlled. I hope it is clear. The water which it will be these impulse turbines are used for high head. Okay, and the water which will be hits to the blade of this one, and mechanical power is generated, and alternator is coupled with this turbines. Okay. And another one point is the movement of the needles is controlled by the governor. If the load on the turbine decreases, the governor pushes the needles into the nozzle, thereby reducing the quantity of water striking the buckets. Reverse action takes place if the load on the turbine increases. It means what? The governor pushes the needle into the nozzle, thereby reducing. It means what? The water flow control nozzle through the water, it will becomes through the nozzle, so that it will be controlled. If the load it will be decreased, we need to control the water flow. So it will be the governor, what it does, it pushes the needle so that water should be regulated, or means controlled less. And reverse process, reverse action take place when load is increased, so that it will be uh, withdrawing the push what they had done through this governor, and it allows more water to flow. Okay. Next one is reaction turbines. Under that, Francis turbines and Kaplan turbines. Okay. Here these are used for low head. Kaplans are used for low heads and large quantity of water. Okay. Here what it is there, the basic principle, what it is involved, just I will discuss. Okay. A Francis turbine is used for low to medium heads. It consists of any outer rings of stationary guide blades fixed to the turbine, causing an inner ring of rotating blades forming the runner. The guide blades controls the flow of water to the turbine. Water flows radially inwards. So here is very important. Water flows radially inward and changes to downward direction while passing through the runner. As the water passes over the rotating blades of the runner, both pressure and velocity of water are reduced. This causes a reaction force which drives the turbine. I repeat here, this is a very important point. As the water passes over the rotating blades, so for an example, this is a turbines and water, it will be flows like that. I don't I will next class if possible I will show you how this reaction turbine. Okay, so like that blades are there, water it will be hits to the here, so rotating blades of the runner, both pressure and velocity of waters are reduced. As soon as the water it will be hits to the turbine blades, what it will be happens, the pressure and velocity of waters are reduced. Due to this, what it will be happens, reaction force which drives the turbine. Okay, due to the reaction force, I repeat here, the pressure and velocity of water which it will be reduced, okay, are reduced, this causes the reaction force. Okay, hence it is called reaction turbine. Okay, reaction turbine. Okay, so this causes a reaction force which drives the turbine. Okay. Next is electrical equipments. Electrical equipment. The electrical equipments of hydroelectric power stations includes alternators, transformers, circuit breakers, and other switching and protective devices. Okay. Okay. Hope it is clear. With this, I conclude this lecture session. Thank you.